Hey, you. Yeah, you. Can we talk? Just you and me. Because what I'm about to share isn't easy. It's not filtered. It's not edited. But it's real. There was a time in my life when I gave up, quietly, silently, without telling anyone. I was breathing, but I wasn't alive. I was moving, but I wasn't living. You know those days when even getting out of bed feels like a war, and smiling, that feels like lying. I had those days for weeks, then months, and no one knew, because I was the strong one, the one who always had it together, the one people came to for advice. But at night, I stared at the ceiling, wondering why I even mattered. It started small, a missed meal, a late reply, a fake smile, and then it became everything. One day, I looked in the mirror, and I didn't recognize the girl staring back at me. Her eyes were empty. Her face had lost its light. Her soul felt gone. I remember that night so clearly. I sat in the corner of my room, lights off, phone on silent, heart racing, and I whispered to myself, I can't do this anymore. And just as I was about to shut down completely, I heard something. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was just a tiny voice inside me, soft, barely alive. But it said something I'll never forget. But what if you tried one more time? One more time. That's all it asked. One more breath. One more day. One more try. So I did, not because I believed everything would magically get better, but because I was tired of being tired, because somewhere deep inside me there was a flicker, a spark, and that night I chose not to let it die. The next morning, I got up, I made my bed, brushed my hair, washed my face, and looked into the mirror again, still empty, but this time there was a question in my eyes. Can we try? And I did. I wrote down one thing I was grateful for. Just one. At first, it felt fake, but then it didn't. Day after day, I added more. I started walking, not running, just walking, feeling the air, watching the leaves move. And slowly, I realized something. Life was still happening, even when I was hiding, even when I thought it had ended. It was waiting for me to come back. I stopped chasing people who didn't see me. I stopped apologizing for existing. I stopped shrinking myself to make others comfortable. And for the first time in forever, I fought for me. I cried. I screamed. I journaled pages soaked in tears. But I kept going, even on the days when I didn't feel like it. And you know what started to happen? Magic, not the fairy tale kind, but real magic, the kind where you feel proud after making a cup of tea, where your chest feels warm because the sunlight hit your skin just right, where someone says, you look happier, and you didn't even realize you were. I started smiling again, but this time it was real. I started laughing again without thinking. I started loving myself, not because I became perfect, but because I finally saw how much I'd survived. So today, if you're listening and your heart feels heavy, if you've lost your light, if you're walking through the darkest tunnel of your life, please, please don't give up. Not now, not yet, because one day you'll look back at the version of you that was broken, and you'll say, thank you for not giving up on me. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to fall apart, but you are not meant to stay there. You are meant to rise like the sun that never fails to return, no matter how long the night is. And I believe in you, even if you don't right now. I believe in your comeback, in your strength, in your softness, in your scars, because those scars, they're not signs of weakness. They're proof that you stayed, that you endured, that you still have time to become everything you were always meant to be.